She deserved the effort and concern. Cookie was my primary lead dog for something close to 14,000 miles, trapline training, and one full Iditarod, and had on several occasions saved my life. But most important, she threw leaders. Sometimes as many as half her pups tended to lead, and a few had, like their mother, become truly exceptional lead dogs, dogs with great, unstoppable hearts and a joy to run. It didn't seem to matter if they were male or female. They were all good. And so I worried. This time the breeding had been accidental. We had been on a long training run in early fall, and Cookie had temporarily and with great enthusiasm fallen in love with a big slab-sided half-hound named Rex. Cookie was running lead. It was a first snow run. The snow was thin and melting rapidly, and would be gone in 2 days, 3 at most. And it was so warm, 30 degrees, that I was wearing only a jacket and a wool watch cap. We were running at night because of the heat. The dogs were most comfortable at 10 or 20 below zero, and I had looked down at something on the sled when the whole team stopped dead. I knew Cookie was in season and would not normally have run her during that time, but I had young and new dogs. Rex was one of them, and I needed her good sense and steadiness to control them while we ran. Cookie, overcome by what could only be described as wild abandon, stopped cold, threw it in reverse, and backed into Rex. If he was surprised, he recovered instantly, and before I could react, they were romantically involved. I pulled the other dogs away from them to avoid any fights, tied them up to trees, and made a small fire to have tea. Usually these things took time, lasted 5 or 10 minutes, but with Cookie and Rex both in harness, she would be anxious and stressful about wanting to run, and I wanted her to see that I had settled in and wanted to remove some of the nervousness so she wouldn't start to fight. Normally I would have controlled the mating situation better, would have selected a male more to my liking. Rex is very much a question mark. I'd only had him a few days and didn't know much about him, and I had known that this would be Cookie's last litter, and that it would be 7 of the best dogs, 2 leaders, that I had ever seen or heard of. I perhaps would have paid more attention. As it was, I ignored them, or tried to. It always seemed to be such a private time for the dogs, the time of mating, and though they were quite open, I in some way felt like an intruder and did not like to watch them. I turned away and heated snow for tea. The night was still, and consequently I heard the dogs more than I usually would have. I heard the puppies being made. In truth, much of what dogs are is basted sounds. They are quiet, wonderfully quiet when they run. Mile after mile on the soft winter nights, I've heard nothing but the soft woof of their breath and the tiny jingle of their collar snaps as they trot along. But almost all other times they live in sound. They bark, whine, wheeze, growl, and wonderfully sing. When they see me come out of the house with harnesses over my shoulder, they go insane, running in circles, literally bellowing their enthusiasm.